previewing Sooners on the road in Knoxville right now on Sooners Intel. Good evening, and welcome back to Sooners Intel. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, here with my co-hosts, Chris Griffin from the Horns Down Pod and Mr. Mason, Chris Mason from Sooners 360. If you love Oklahoma Sooner football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, make sure you hit all the channels, smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Gentlemen, welcome in. What are we thinking about this big game this weekend?
Chris Mason.
I'm thinking 100,000 Tennessee fans in black seems a little weird to me. But other than that,
They're all wearing black this weekend.
that's what I hear. They're calling it a blackout. So okay, it's not one of your colors, but all right, whatever. I'm thinking. I'm thinking this game is. I'm wishing this game was in Norman, and one of the other games were maybe on the road. Last time we were in Rocky Top, we came out with a bizarre win from in terms of how that actually game shook out. But that's a long time ago. I'm thinking this is a tough place, a tough matchup for OU to get right before the bye week.
And you ain't wrong. I think this is a real tough matchup. Okay, Chris, what are your concerns? Where do you feel good about it?
I feel good all the way around, fellas. I think that this is going to be another great test for us. I think that they do a few things that we don't like. I think that we do a number of things that they don't necessarily like. It's game to game. It's the SEC. I mean, we just got to understand, look, we're 6-2 right now. We're still ahead of the curve. We got 4 games left. This is a must win. Next week is a must win. The last 2 are a must win. Just got to go out there and win. I mean, the whole thing is that I don't take any consolation prizes. I don't do all that stuff. But I will say, it's not like you didn't play well enough to go and win that game. I think Chris Mason said it best earlier this week when he said, "Hey, you put yourself in position to go win that game. You're a couple of mistake-free ball in a couple of places, and you're perfectly fine. Like, you give yourself a chance. That's what you just got to do. You got to go give yourself a chance."
It's not supposed to be easy, right?
No, it's not supposed to be easy. 100,000 fans. I know it's a 6:30 game. All the rest of that stuff, that is perfectly fine. But again, over the past few weeks, from the film that I've put on, you can go watch In the Weeds if you want to, but the film that I put on and I personally seen, there are going to be a lot of opportunities to go out there and do a lot of good. Similar game, similar team to what Ole Miss presents as far as just having a really potent pass attack. Obviously, they get it done 2 different ways. It's still RPO. Let's be real, it's RPO based, but they do it a tad bit differently. But there are some things or whatnot that if you can take away from them and force them just to kind of get into a box, which, let's all be real, Chris Mason, hopefully you'll back me up on this, and Jason, you'll back me up on this as well. From all the way from Art Browse till now, and especially when Levy had his pit stop here at OU, we've seen this veer and shoot offense become not only predictable, but also extremely beatable. Because the whole thing is that they want to play the numbers and all the rest of that stuff. You're changing the picture, and then after the ball snaps, but also you're very physical. You match their intensity, and also you just force them into really predictable situations. That's what you can do. You can flip on a dime on them and make them stop running so much of the finesse stuff. You could play tendencies opposed to having to play scheme the entire time, because a lot of the plays are very obvious. The screens, the how they want to set things up. You just have to make sure that you don't get caught lacking like you were last year, because Levy, all the others who run it, Kendall Browse and all the rest of them, Heupel's probably the one who's the closest to Art Browse running this system in my mind. So, with that being said,
Well, I mean, even Lane Kiffin runs a lot of that system
yeah,
too.
yeah,
I think what has been discovered about this offense is the word I would use. It's very defensible. There's no magic element to it, that if you put the right pieces in the right place, play over play, you,
mhm.
you can stop it. It's not.
Don't-
It's very predictable in some of the ways it works, and I think Brent got a good read on it from the time Levy was in Norman, and when we weren't giving that game away last year, the first half of the Tennessee game, we pretty much locked that down.
They had,
So
well, listen, yeah, they definitely had forced turnovers as well.
yeah,
They had one more first half turnover because Jackson, as soon as they got it, they kept giving it back. But
yeah,
and then you have that interception that he threw into quadruple coverage.
yeah.
I would tell you that I also think that this offense is definitely one of the best in the country, if not the best, the most explosive in the country. They got big time receiver and Brazel, and and they're still going to run the football really well. One thing I'd said earlier in the week to you guys on the group chat was talking about I think the hype does more with less. He will change it. He's not afraid to get away from the veer and shoot, whatever you want to call, and in everything else. He learned a lot, obviously, from I think Leach, but then he also has taken pieces of that from Leb and Art Briles and all that as well. But I think that that's what's dangerous about him, is the fact that they're not worried about getting out there and changing things up. They became a power running team the last few years when they didn't have a quarterback that could throw it. You're seeing more of that explosive passing game this year, obviously, than what you saw in the last couple of years. It's more like whenever he had what was his name a couple of years ago when they should have probably made the playoff.
Oh, the guy who blew his knee out.
Brendan,
Yeah,
you talking on Hooker?
Hooker.
Hooker,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, I mean, but the thing is it, in saying all that, I think you're right, Kid Chris, is that this is an offense that they know well. It's been a part of the Oklahoma offense while Venables has been here. There's nothing that he's not seen from these guys, or there's nothing that these guys are going to put out there that he can't at least recognize, know what it is. And there's not a ton of new stuff that you're going to probably see from Heupel. I'm sure he has a wrinkle or two, but the truth of the matter is this is the best defense that he's faced by a lot. And in saying that, not expecting there to be slippery field for the defense to struggle getting their hands on guys, it's always easier for uh, the offense whenever you have sloppy fields like that, because you know where you're going. The defense doesn't, so it's easier for you to turn than it is for them to turn. I think that this is a situation where obviously this is an elimination type of game. You can't expect to get into the playoffs at 9-3. You're basically backed up against the wall at this point. This is all well and good, but you have to figure that this is one of those tough environments to play. And it is what it is. It's 110,000 screaming, uh, fans from Vols fans in Neyland Stadium. It's going to be big time atmosphere. I'm looking forward to being there, enjoying it myself. Look, I think that you have a chance to win. I think you got to get better play from your quarterback.
So I'll say this right here. First off, all that 110,000 and stuff, that's cool. Be a player on the field. Fuck all of that. Like that stuff really, that stuff ain't really matter. What matters is right now is the simple fact, and not dissing you, Jason. I'm just saying, like, screw all of that. What it boils down to is what you didn't do last week. Be
No
aggressive.
doubt.
Have your pressure on third and longs, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and any time longer, because you're going to get them into those situations. Don't drop back. don't send everybody back. If you're going to have 7 people up there on the line, you need to probably send 6. Okay. You don't have to run this zone the whole time. They're going to like that. But at the same time, you have to get pressure. You have to hurry him, because the one thing that has been consistent outside of Brendan Hooker, when you go to Joe Schmo, who was a quarterback there, glad he's at the Dallas Cowboys, but still, Joe Schmo, right? You go to Nico, and even at times, if you watch Aguilar closely, what do
Yeah.
they struggle with? They struggle with the intermediate pass. They sell those passes for whatever reason. Guys get open and they're throwing it over their heads. I don't know why. I don't know what's
I don't
going
know how
on.
you can throw it over Chris Brazel's head. That dude's a
I know
monster.
you can't. I get that. I get that. But at the same time, when you look at those formations I said in the text today, okay, most of those formations, again, what they're doing differently this time, they're running little out routes.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're running little comebacks. They're doing little things like that, little wrinkles in there to move the ball that way. If they're going to throw it 20 plus yards down the field, they're trying to throw a bomb. Biggest thing is that there's been a lot of bad decisions, and that could hunt us, that could get us this game. But there's been a lot of bad decisions by certain safeties. It's not necessarily that they've stressed the field. Hell, they've lined up and ran slants because they have everybody isolated on the outside. Because like I watched Arkansas. Arkansas has damn near eight in the box. You sitting here with your 2 wide receivers and basically running one high safety, and you're able to just to run those slants, right? So I watched that a couple of times. I was like, that's interesting. They're running slants. They're running these comeback routes. They're running different things like that. So it's there. I get that. But the whole thing is when I watch, now don't get me wrong, against Arkansas, they were up at one point 31-14, but they let Arkansas come back in that game and basically scare them. Arkansas was running a similar offense to what you most likely will see from us. But also on top of that, Arkansas was able to get key pass breakups, not even necessarily turnovers, but key pass breakups, stop the run whenever they were able to, and they weren't playing out of position or running out of position. But when you watch what Arkansas was doing, you still say they really didn't have a real pass rush. They never really even crowded the pocket all that much around him. He was able to get out there in space a couple of times. You go back to the Alabama game. Alabama's D line is not Alabama of old, let's be real. But they were able to get pressure. That's something, a lot of people question that defense at times this year, but they were able to get pressure and get sacks. So the whole thing was that they even played off. A lot of these teams play similar. I know I saw somebody, I think it was our Moosehead, who was in here talking about expect to see a heavy dose of 3-3-5. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some 3-3-5, but you can also go with an even line against them. It's not necessarily that they're coming out here and they're running something that is just so amazing. Like we just said on behind the scenes, they have about 10 core plays and probably about 3 or 4 formations that they want to show you. What they're looking for is to get you so caught up in the backfield that they can get those receivers behind you. Let's just be real. They're just throwing bums down there, especially the Brazel. That's going to be something we have to keep an eye on, see how often they move him around, because obviously we would prefer probably Guillory and Gentry on him, giving us that longer, 6'1" frame, even though he's 6'5", opposed to a 5'9" Bowen, right? But at the same time, you just have to watch, because it's core principles, core concepts. They do it every single game. They show you
No,
the
no
same
doubt.
looks. They're running
You
pretty
don't
much
get away from
the
it.
routes.
What you've done. You don't
Yeah,
get away from
it's
what you.
all there. So the whole thing is you have to be aggressive. But to me, I think again, this is a week like last week coming into the game. In my mind, I said Venables and Kiffin are a wash. That you can just say that's even. Coming into this game, Heupel and BV, that's pretty much a wash. What it boils down to is their defense, who, yeah, they're a bit sack happy, they're this and that. Their defense, that secondary especially, and who I don't even know who their D coordinator is. Regardless, it comes down to Arbuckle and Mateer versus that defense. Can we get it done passing the ball? And a lot of it is just literally screw the mental, screw the thumb, screw all the rest of that stuff. It's just a simple fact. There's guys open. He has to be more patient. He has to know, let it rip. Go ahead and let it rip. Coming into this year, I think a lot of us had him labeled as kind of a gunslinger, but regardless, he's got to let it rip. There's plenty of times where guys are getting open down the field. He's got to let it rip. But
Well, he's got to see the guys that are open down the field too.
Mhm.
He needs to get past progression number one, and if you have an idea that it's going to be this guy open who's the third progression, and maybe you should make him the first progression this week if you're Ben Arbuckle as well, right?
I'm sure that that's all in the game plan. Mateer just got to go out there and execute. One of my uncles always had a saying, man. Hey, look, you can do it in practice all week. You got to do it when the popcorn smell is in the building too.
True.
So he got to go out there and do it when the big lights is on. Just got to go do it. That's all. That's all. If we go out there and we can run the ball like we had these past 3 weeks, and we go out there and play mistake-free football, and we give ourselves a chance, I see more of a South Carolina performance than anything on the road. And if we were to get beat with that type of performance where we're hitting on all X's and O's, and there's a couple of things that go wrong, maybe special teams or just maybe a bust or two on the defensive side, I can pretty much live with that because I know that at least our offense has tried to correct whatever mistake is there. But at the same time, again, I feel like you're going to get more of the performance that you had at South Carolina opposed to what you had against Ole Miss. Ole Miss is in the past to me. But that's my thoughts, man. Just watching the games, not saying that the offense is super predictable or this and that, but what I do say is that you can take those things away. And when he's hurried, when he is being pressured, he gets happy feet. It has to be there for him. The deep pass, not necessarily. He'll just chunk that bitch. It does not matter at all. He will just go up and say, my 6'5" wide receiver is better than you. I think Staley is still better than you. And I think the other wide receiver is better than you. But if you can stop that run game and you can make him actually work the field, that's whenever you start getting them to think. And that's whenever, and especially if you can hurry him and get him pressured, go back to the Bama game. I know all three of us watched that game. If you can do those things, I'm telling you, you're going to have a really successful day. And that's why I think I put us ahead by that much. I'm not necessarily saying we're going to go out here and win by 30, but what I'm saying is I think that if we can get physical with this offense and put them in predictable situations, it's going to help. And I think that you will be able to get pressure because I'm not saying that offensive line is bad for them, but what I am saying is that I just haven't seen them have a consistent pass rush where they had to really, push guys out. They bullied a whole bunch of people. Mississippi State game as well. You don't have to win a NASCAR race against them. You can go out there and play straight up and win. That's what this Tennessee team boils down to.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's fair. I think it's, look, I think everybody, it's easy to just say you lost last week. There's no way you're going to go on the road and win in Neyland. Look, I think anytime you have a defense like this, you have an opportunity. Do you need to get better quarterback play? Yes. Do you need to take advantage of the situations that your defense gives you? Yes. And I don't think that that's anything new. It was asked in here if Mateer wasn't to play good, would you favor pulling him out? I would. I was talking about it on Saturday night. I don't know that that's what's going to happen. I was talking about it on Monday morning. I don't know that that's what is going to happen. I think that at this point you need to find your way to look. I mean, again, you lose another game, you're not going to the playoff. I'm not saying you have to make the playoff for this to be a successful season. I'm saying that you might as well shoot your gun empty while you can. If he's not seeing the field the way that he's been needing to see the field in this game, I think you have to go with Michael Hawkins. You have 2 more appearances for him before you have to worry about his red shirt. So I don't want to hear about the red shirt stuff, And while you still have an opportunity to make the playoff, I feel like you should. Again, I don't know that that's a possibility whatsoever. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm of the
I
opinion
know
that
you said no already.
well, yeah, you and I argued over that Saturday. We don't need to rehash that. So,
Right.
I don't see them. Barring injury, I don't see Mike Hawkins getting into the game. that doesn't make any sense to me based upon the way they've been coaching and scheming the last 3-4 weeks. To me, it's more. We've had arguments in our off chat about 10-2 OU, where would it even be if OU could win out. And I don't have a lot of optimism about that 10-2 OU getting into the playoffs. But really, more than anything, to me, Brent needs to win this game to shut up all the talk about his hot seat again, right? To give us some momentum. I'm sick and tired of this topic.
It's a stupid topic.
It's very much like to go into this off season without this noise about Brent. I'm the recruiting guy, guys. Obviously, if you listen to my podcast or you visit for Chris, I know a lot of you guys are in our Q&As on Monday. I'm the recruiting guy, right? I know you've got great recruiting momentum. I want to win this weekend because I want to shut up the Brent stuff moving forward for November to let OU close on some kids and to end this as a topic. If OU goes 9-3, 10-2, makes the playoffs, don't makes the playoffs, I'm fine with either of those results, right? But I'm happy with the progress and momentum the program will have made if that's the case, right? Because we're not getting to 10-2 or 9-3 without some offensive improvement, either O-line running game or O-line running game material. Some combination of something is going to have to start playing better on offense consistently to get us through this stretch and get us 3 or 4 wins that we really need. So, to me, this is where the Tennessee game, if Brent can go on the road, win at, depending upon your viewpoint, the toughest place to play in the SEC, because I think Baton Rouge just lost that title last Saturday. So maybe it's Rocky Top, maybe it's the Swamp. We went to Columbia, and it wasn't really, that wasn't much of a big deal. We haven't been to Athens yet. We never go to Austin, not that that really matters. But I just think this is a pivotal game we need to execute better. Both sides of the football need to complement each other, and we need to be more productive and more consistent on offense to support the defense, which I think is in a tough environment. This is defense. This isn't a shutout. This isn't a shutout type day for our defense. Tennessee's got too many weapons. Their quarterback's playing at too high a level. This isn't South Carolina, who's discombobulated on offense, wants to fire their coordinator. This is a consistent scheme from a coach who's implemented it for the last 4 or 5 years. And I'd feel more confident about this game if we were creating and getting turnovers, but we're not. And that's what really concerns me. Generally, to get an upset against a ranked team on the road, you got to pull some turnover magic out of your hat, and our turnover hat's pretty empty.
I think it's so fluky that they're not getting turnovers, though, don't you? I mean, I think it's just been fluky.
Sure, but until the trend line changes.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying, I feel like that's got to be coming at some point. These guys have turned the football over. It's not like they've been clean with the ball a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, trust me. If you told me that OU has a 2-1, 3-1 edge in turnovers in this game, my prediction I made, which we'll get to in a little bit, would be completely different. But the trend line is that we're not forcing turnovers or getting turnovers.
Again, I'll say this right here. I'll jump in and say this. Put on the film. On the road, at home, there hasn't really been a lot of teams that turned Tennessee over. And guess what? They played in 1-score games. I mean, I'm just going to be real with you.
They lost. And we just came off a game where we did not win the turnover margin and lost another 1-score game.
Yeah.
So that's
special teams, and then obviously the safety. I get that, but the special teams, that's just something that you got to clean up. But what I would say is, what it all boils down to, for me, just answering your question about the whole Hawkins thing. No. I would just say go out there and play complimentary football, win the game. That to me, that's what you got to do. OU under BV, this is one criticism that I definitely would say. OU has to beat OU. I mean, that's all it boils down to. I think that you have your guy. I think that some of the things you're going to have to live with, it is what it is. But I think just go and play complimentary football. Simple as that.
You guys want to jump into some predictions?
Yeah, I don't have the graphics, so you're just gonna have to talk about it.
I'm just going to read them to you. So
Yeah.
don't worry. We got you. All right. So we'll go with Tennessee pick. So leading rusher, yardage wise, Chris and I are going with the obvious answer of X Rob after last week's game. Jason, you see any difference with that?
With X Rob?
Yeah.
No, I think you better be the leading rusher. I think you better give him a healthy dose. That's something. Look, if you're going to win this game, you're going to control the pace of the game. Run the fucking ball.
Okay. All right. Leading receiver. Again, Chris and I are in lockstep, and based upon everything we're seeing, we went with Satania. You willing to go with a breakaway pick there?
Say again.
Jason, you're with the leading receiver. Chris and I went with Satania. Are you willing to go with a breakaway pick, or are you gonna?
No, I think it's Isaiah Satania. I think that he's been the best player on the field. Aside from some mistakes here and there, especially on special teams, I think you got to get him the football. He's your number one target in the passing game, without a doubt.
All right. Does Mateer pass for over 300 yards? Chris and I are in lockstep saying yes. Jason, do you see Mr. Mateer going over 3 bills?
Yeah, worst secondary that you faced. I think he could. I think he better.
All right.
Do I think he will? I hope so.
All right.
Chris Mason, hold on. Hey, Jimmy Satterfield and a lot of other people in there, smash that like button. You see what Jimmy's saying? Smash that like button. People like, subscribe, do all of that across all 3 channels. Okay, do that.
Yep. All right. 100-yard rusher. Chris and I think X Rob's going over 100 yards. Do you see that? See that, Jason?
Say it again. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Well, we have X Rob going for over 100 yards. Do you see that from our running game?
Yeah, I think it has to be right. I think it has to be.
Either that or you get a combination of the two, because I think that there's going to be. So obviously, if we want to talk about Mateer, then we could talk about Blaylock too. Blaylock's got to see the space. That's it. That's the next step in his game. He's got to start running to the space, right? Instead of I want to run people over. That's perfectly fine, and that's great for the short yardage stuff. But you got to start running to the space.
He had 100 yards the week before that, though. I mean,
I get that. Hey, still got to run to the space.
Stop it.
Got to run to the space.
Stop it.
Got to run to the space.
All right.
If he does that, we can have a hell of a day.
All right. So Chris and I don't see a defensive or special teams touchdown. Do you disagree with that?
I mean, I've been staying on the defensive touchdown thing. I mean, I might as well ride that motherfucker one more week. They're probably going to need it. So, no, I don't expect a special teams touchdown, though. I mean, I don't know that I expect a defensive one, but, I mean, why you got to – this is where you just got to keep doubling down till you hit.
Okay. Offensive play over 50 yards. We broke it. We broke the seal on it. So I'm saying yes after saying no every week. After saying no because I was like, well, we never had one. And then we got 2 of them last week. So hoping that trend continues.
Or secondary play should definitely have that happen.
I think that as far as a 50-yard play offensively.
Yes, 50-yard offensive
I definitely
play.
say that because, again, going to the film, and this is why I said what I said, Jason.
They give up big plays.
About Blaylock, they give up big plays, especially on the ground, because with what we like to do, with the patient running behind the backs, and then all of a sudden that hole it's there. That's there an awful lot. If you do that, they're running for the races, and I think Blaylock can take it home.
And Kentucky had 2 50-yard touchdown plays.
Arkansas had a couple of plays.
And so did Mississippi State. So when they bust, they bust big.
Yes.
All right. Does OU hold Tennessee under 300 yards? Now here's where some disagreement starts to appear. I say no. Chris says yes. Where are you, Jason? They gave up 430 last week.
Yeah, I think this is a better offense than the one you saw last week. I think it's a different situation because it's not a sloppy. Again, the sloppy field favors the offenses when that happens,
And there were
so
50, there were at least 50, 60 scramble yards from uh,
it could happen.
from
It could
Trinidad last
happen.
week.
Yeah,
And
I say maybe they do. Maybe they do.
So reason why I say yes is because here's the difference, Jason, in my opinion, between Tennessee and Ole Miss. If you guys remember coming into the Ole Miss game, I said, "Hey, what is one thing that I said? I said, hey, they will hide those tight ends and make them and have them run crossers.
right,
They'll run Daquan right out there, and they'll single him out and let him do what he wants to do. They'll have those receivers, especially number 19, and he got us a couple of times on those. They run they sneak those crossers in. They got us on that one touchdown, that one pretty much that kind of extended the lead, right? Late in the game. They got us on that one with God knows who that guy was, number 37 or whatever the hell he was. Let's be real, you know. That was probably not designed to go to him, but he was open. And they didn't think that he would be open, but he was
Sure.
open. So again, when you come down to that, when it boils down to that, Tennessee doesn't do that. That's not a play in Tennessee's book. That's not necessarily something that they do. They don't hide that guy. That tight end is either going to block or he's going to run it out or he's going to run something that looks kind of like a skinny post. It's something that's designed. It's not necessarily a crosser, and it's rarely ever a crosser. Their crossers are probably the Brazel is covered
Usually
down the field.
four verts, man, within, and they
Yeah,
might have one override.
Brazel is running down the field already. That look is not there, and then they got the wide receiver that was lined up all the way by the sideline on opposite of Brazel coming over there. You forget about him in that zone, and then boom, that's their crosser. So that's the reason why I say I don't necessarily see that offense doing that. I think that if you get them in third and long situations, they become pretty predictable. It's either a go ball or it's something over the middle, but it's something that takes time to develop. And if you can get a good pass rush, you're not giving him that time.
all right,
Yeah,
all right.
again, this idea that BV's going to get fired, guys, he's going to have to lose them all for them to do it. I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
All right. So one thing to keep in mind is that Chambliss ran the ball 12 times last week for 53 yards, and Aguilar last week in a game they had the offensive ball all damn day, ran the ball 3 times for -6. So you have -6 versus over 50 yards. If OU can get Aguilar and keep Aguilar from scrambling and making garbage yards, then maybe they can hold him under. Maybe they can hold him under 400. I don't know about 300 though, but
And that may be
I
pushing
think
it.
it's,
You may be
I think
right.
it's tough. I think it's tough to hold them under
It's
300.
it's
I
I
feel like
think if you can hold him under 400, I'm like, okay, then maybe
I
we're
think that's a win. I think you win if you hold them under 4.
all right. All right, defensive MVP. I'm rolling back to David Stone. I figured Lane Kiffin pissed him off with all that garbage he was doing, so David's going to come in a little angry. Hey, Chris.
Stoney.
Chris has Guillory, and if Guillory's our MVP,
Strapping.
then that's a. I like that as I like what we've done defensively. Then I don't see how if Guillory is the star of our defense on Saturday night, and I don't know how we're not having a good night on defense.
No doubt. No doubt. I think if we're gonna if I'm gonna keep riding with this defensive touchdown, I'm gonna go with Peyton Bowen.
All right.
I think Peyton's been playing pretty good ball still. Like him.
Yeah.
And again,
We need a pick. He's as good as anybody to get a pick 6 in this game.
absolutely.
All right. So offensive MVP, I'm going with X Rob. I think if you can feed him the ball and the offensive line can move some folks, he could be the MVP. He was basically the MVP last week. I mean, him and Satania, you could flip a coin. And then K. Chris is going with the popular pick of Mateer. Where are you going, Jason?
Offensive MVP, is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Yeah, I probably X Rob, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now here's the controversial part. So I'll give you Chris's pick first. All right. Chris, you're picking OU on the road at Rocky Top to win 24-13.
Put my nuts out. Let's go.
That would be a masterclass defensive performance by Brent if you
It would
hold
be, yes.
Tennessee to 13. So
It would, and you know what? It may take that kind of a game, to be honest with you. I
all
think
right.
you're going to have to score some points. I don't know that
All right.
24 is
I'll give you mine. So give you a little more time to gestate here and get your thoughts, Jason. I'm picking Tennessee to win 27-24. I'm going with the trend line, which is the OU off defense when this really good OU defense when it runs into good offenses gives up some points. We make some mistakes that are going to give Tennessee more points. That's how they get to 27. It's like 21 points on our defense, and then they get 6 points from OU screwing up. And then I don't see OU getting to the 30s on the road at Rocky Top of what they've been showing the last 3 weeks.
I think I don't think the 24 points is enough to win. So if you guys are both got 24 points, I don't think it's enough to win. I think
what's your prediction then?
Yeah, I think if Oklahoma's going to win, they're going to have an offense. If they're going to have a 300-yard game from interior, they're going to have a 100-yard game from X-Rob. You're going to have, Satania or X-Rob being an offensive MVP. You better score 28 or more. And I think that's what it's going to take to win this game on the road. I just do. So, look, I'd love to ride with them. I don't know that I feel great about this at all, but I'll say 28-24 in Oklahoma. But I feel no I don't have any really
You don't have a good vibe on this.
I don't believe it. My confidence in that is very low.
Okay. All right. Do we want to jump into Week 10 predictions, or do you want me to do a quick review of how badly you guys are losing to me?
Chris Mason, you know what you can do for me. you can pick either cheek and kiss it, whichever one you want, man. Whichever one you want.
Well, at 22-27, I probably would have the same attitude. I'm leading at 27 wins, 22 losses. We all have one. I think we all have 2 ties because of 2 pushes. And Jason is 24-25. Sadly, last week one of my wins was picking against OU with Ole Miss. We all blew the LSU game. We all blew the USF game. And, well, USF blew that. And then, Jason, you managed to come through with the BYU pick over Iowa State, which was a good pick. So, all right, we're jumping to Week 10. So, these are the 5 games, Jason, just to review them for you, and one by one to give you a chance. So, first off, we have OU Tennessee, and the spread was 3.5 points. Tennessee minus 3.5. I'm not sure if that's down, maybe down to 3 at this point, but I'm sticking with 3.5. Okay. So based upon that, are you going with OU? Taking the points and going with OU?
Yeah, I mean, I have them winning 28-24. So if I'm betting it, I'm not betting in this game at all. By the way, I would never.
Yeah, that's a bad.
Terrible bet. It's a terrible bet. It's not enough points for him on the road. It's not enough points for him on the road. But it does tell you what Vegas thinks of this defense. So, look, maybe they get in there and get it done. Maybe they can hold them under that 28 or 20. Look, we know this. If Oklahoma holds you under 21 points,
they're going to win the game.
They're going to win the game.
Yeah. When you get to 28-27, things get a little weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always
has for 40 years.
We have Vandy, Texas. Texas is the favorite by 2.5 points.
Vandy's blowing these guys out.
Chris and I had Vandy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've not heard if Arch is out of concussion protocol.
I don't think it matters. I think.
Well, their backup could be better.
He might be. So I don't think he's better than Diego Pavia either.
Well,
so
there we go.
This team at Vanderbilt seems like a pretty team of destiny kind of deal with them. They're playing very good football on both sides of the ball.
They are.
Diego Pavia is playing he's just playing very, very good football. So yeah, listen, Texas has gotten away with wins against really, really bad opponents the last 2 weeks in overtime. I don't see it happening again.
Miracle punt returns really being the difference.
Yeah, why
They
they're
got
kicking
them.
to that fucking kid anymore, I have no idea.
What miracle punt returns getting them into overtime? Really, I mean that's just
Yeah,
the truth.
no doubt.
All
Why are
right,
they kicking to him though? I don't understand.
I don't. We've got a USC at Nebraska. USC is favored by 6.5. I went
Oh,
with I
that's
went
easy. That's easy, Big Red, right?
I went with USC because I'm
Okay.
still having a hard time shaking that ass kicking Nebraska got by Minnesota 2 weeks ago, and then watch Minnesota get basically dump trucked by Iowa the
I
next week.
forgot about that. Yeah.
So it's not even a bad. That's leaving a bad taste in my mouth, and we don't like Lincoln Riley, obviously, but his offense, he has some offensive skill guys. The quarterback's pretty good, and they've got skill wide receivers, and Nebraska's offense just looked terrible. Maybe
Yeah, you know what? This is one of those ones that they might both lose. Fuck, they're terrible.
well, I'd love for them to both lose.
Yeah, me
That's I
too.
mean, this
Me
is the
too,
both
man.
lose games, but I just
Yeah, I don't know. It's you said 6.5. They're giving on the road.
yeah. Let me double check
You
that.
know, I think
Maybe I got that wrong.
that's
Maybe
the part
maybe
that's the part that got to give you pause because of the fact that it's SC and they're not playing well on the road. I mean, they haven't. They're you know,
okay.
yeah.
The spread has dropped to 4.5 since I did this Wednesday night.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's sharp money coming in on Nebraska. I'll go with Nebraska.
Okay.
I don't have much faith in Matt Rule at all. But I think he just re-upped his contract, so he's not going to Penn State. We know,
Right. It's just I think to beat USC, you've got to be really good at one thing on offense, right? Running the ball.
running the ball.
You got to be good at running the ball.
Yep.
And if you are good at that, you give a chance to beat them. Again, I didn't see Nebraska run the ball for shit against Minnesota the other night, so I don't think and Rayola looks like crap. Now maybe at home
I don't love the pick. I'm not telling you. This is another game I would not touch with a 10-foot pole with money.
all right.
You know, no, don't want nothing to do with it. But for the sake of this deal, I'll go with Nebraska.
All right, another game with a weird line: Cincinnati at Utah. Cincy is Utah is a 10.5 point favorite.
It's a what? Utah's what?
Utah is a 10.5 point favorite.
Wow, at Utah.
It's at Utah, and I literally just reloaded ESPN, and that's the spread that's showed. This is at Utah. It's a night game.
They use the MyBookie spreads though.
Yeah, but I aggregate them. So I
Okay.
take a look.
Okay.
I double check.
Here's the deal. I would just say there's a reason. Cincinnati's a weird team, but I mean they beat Iowa State at home. They've looked really good. They're in the mix in the Big 12. I don't see Utah as worth a shit. 10.5. I'll take.
Well, the Flicken kid went crazy last weekend.
Okay.
Their quarterback Damian Davis or whatever his name is hurt. I think Jamarian Flicken from Muskogee, Oklahoma. He put up like 300 yards on Colorado in the first half last week.
Yeah, you're right. I love
But it
that.
still seems like a lot of points. I'm taking
Really good football player, isn't he? Damn.
He's got wheels. I mean, he's for Utah's scheme. It's hard to imagine a better kid.
Yeah.
So I got
Shout out to him, man. Muskogee, that's where I'm from. So cool.
He's so I'm taking Cincy in the points. K. Chris is taking Utah to cover. You on the? It's a lot of points, man. That's the reason why I took.
It's a lot of points to cover. I say Utah wins.
But the Big 12 is a snake pit, right? I mean, who knows what's happening week to week in that conference?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Utah is they're one of the whiny bitch teams of the world too. They just get on my last nerve at this point. But I think they probably win. It is at home. I don't know that you cover 10.5, but maybe. I mean, but yeah, I'll take Cincinnati to cover that.
All right, then we have and I was struggling for a fifth game. There's not a really good fifth game this week, so I went with Georgia Tech at NC State because it's a road game. NC State traditionally has given Georgia Tech fits, pulled some upsets on good Georgia Tech teams. NC State has something. They don't. It was this or some other bad games.
Georgia
And
Tech, huh? That's your other squad. I forgot.
that's right. So,
Yeah, GT wins that. Come on, brother. NC State's
well, 5.5 points on the road. I'm actually taking NC State to cover, Georgia Tech to win.
all good. You're gonna give us a game. I love it.
K. Chris picked Georgia Tech to win outright, cover,
Me too.
and you too as well. I got to give you guys a chance to catch up somewhere.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
But,
you do.
from
That's mighty white of you.
a sporting chance,
Whatever, bro. Whatever.
Overall, do you guys? Are we going to be able to? We'll do a little behind the curtain reveal for you guys, our audience. Are we potting post game in the morning? Because after this will easily
It's
go.
gonna be a
11.
late night game. I don't know what it's gonna be like getting out of Neyland.
Oh, you're at
Have
Neyland.
you ever been there, Jason?
I drove by. I went by there this summer, but I have never been to a game there. No.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
with you going to the game, I don't think a post game pod's a possibility.
I keep forgetting that you're going to the game, knowing that I think you're already there, aren't you?
No, shit, no. I was just picking it up earlier.
I was like, shit, you already there?
But hey, man, I got the mobile studio. It's
The mobile command center is ready to roll.
Yeah, we got to outfit this bad boy, but it's gonna happen.
So need to get a big Hall of Fame logo on the side.
The Hall of Fame caravan.
That's right. So guys, we're gonna come to you Sunday morning with a recap and opinion of this game. Because it's going to be, Jason, you're not getting out of there until like 1. So
Nah, it'll be rough to get out of there.
So we're
But
gonna
we can do it. I might jump on whenever I get back to the spot, but we'll do Sunday morning is fine.
let's do Sunday morning. If you jump on, so we'll do Sunday morning. We'll have a recap and an analysis for you guys of hopefully me being completely wrong about this game and K. Chris being completely right. So there's a first time for everything, right? So we'll have to move to that. So thanks everyone. We're going to be back. We'll be back Monday with a recruiting Q&A regardless. And we'll be back, and it's going to be a bye week. So keep an eye on us on Twitter. We'll have some bye week plans of what we're going to talk about.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Guys, appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure you hit the like button on all 3 channels. If you're not subscribed to all 3 channels, why? Don't be coming in here running your mouth and not being a subscriber or hitting the like button. Don't be.
And if you're down on the team, I gave you 35 minutes of recruiting pod action last night on YouTube or your podcast channel of choice. Lots of good stuff happening in recruiting. 35 minutes of positivity about the OU program and recruiting. If you're feeling a little down in the old Miss dumps.
Yeah. Hey, look. It's not out of the realm of possibility for them to win this fucking game. So just so we
No,
understand.
it's not.
It's not. I mean, we're acting like, they've lost 2 games. Can they lose? Yeah. Can they win? Yes.
Every game's winnable on the
Every game's
schedule.
winnable. Every game's losable probably, but every game's winnable. So we'll see how it goes. We're not firing him yet. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody. We'll see you all on the next one.